Rain whispered, against the old windows of the Carrington House. As dusk settled over the quiet town of Elmridge, the house had stood for more than 100 years, surrounded by gnarled trees and forgotten memories. Most people passed it without a second glance, but tonight, a single light flickered behind its upstairs curtain. Julie Harris stood at the gate, the iron cold in her hands. Her parents had just bought the place, excited by its history and charm, but she felt nothing charming about the way. The shadows stretched long across the lawn, or the way the wind seemed to hush the world the moment she stepped onto the path. They hadn't moved in yet. Her parents were still at the lawyer's office finishing paperwork, and she'd volunteered to come ahead and check the place out. Just a quick look. Maybe snap some pictures for her Instagram. She wasn't scared. Not really. The key turned with a groan and the front door creaked open. Dust motes danced in the fading light. The air smelled like mothballs and something faintly metallic. She stepped inside, her phone flashlight cutting a pale circle through the gloom. The furniture was covered with white sheets, giving everything a ghostly appearance. As she walked through the hallway, her footsteps echoed against the hardwood floor. Each creak made her heart beat a little faster, but she kept telling herself it was just an old house. She reached the living room and paused. A large mirror leaned against the wall, half covered by a dusty cloth. She tugged the sheet down and froze. In the mirror, she could see the hallway behind her, but someone was standing there. She spun around. No one. Her breath caught. She turned back to the mirror. The figure was gone. Maybe she imagined it. Maybe it was just a trick of the light. Then she heard it. A laugh. Soft. Close. Too close. Julie whipped around again, heart pounding in her ears. Hello? She called. Is someone here? Silence. The laugh came again, this time from upstairs. Childlike, almost playful, but no one was supposed to be home. She backed toward the door, fingers fumbling for the knob. When the stairs creaked above her, one slow step at a time, someone was moving. She bolted out the door, slamming it shut behind her, her breath fogging in the cool air. Then the porch light flicked on. She hadn't touched the switch. She turned slowly, and the upstairs curtain, the one with the flickering light, was drawn back by an unseen hand. And in the dark, someone laughed again. Julie stumbled back, nearly tripping over a cracked tile on the front steps. Her phone slipped from her hand and clattered onto the porch, the flashlight beam spinning wildly. She didn't pick it up. She only stared at the window. The curtain had fallen back into place. The light inside no longer flickered. Everything was still, too still. She glanced at the street. No cars, no one walking by. Just the wind rustling the trees like whispers from a half-remembered dream. Her fingers itched to call her parents, but her phone was still lying on the porch, the screen now dim. She took a shaky step forward and picked it up. The screen lit up, but it was already dialing. Her number. She stared at it. Incoming call, Julie Harris. Her thumb hovered over the screen. The phone rang once, twice, then clicked, and she heard her own voice. Hello? The voice said. Is someone here? It was her from minutes ago, the exact words she'd said inside the house. Then came the laugh again. Not from the phone. From behind her. She turned around so fast her vision blurred. Nothing. Just the street, and the trees, and the breathless quiet of a town too small for ghosts. Julie backed away, gripping her phone like it could protect her. She told herself to leave, to run, but something pulled at her curiosity. Some stubborn part of her that needed to know what was happening. Maybe it was the same part of her that had always peeked under the bed as a child, even when she was too scared to sleep afterward. She opened the door again. The house was dark, quiet. She stepped inside, the door clicking shut behind her. This time she kept the flashlight low, scanning the floor for footprints, signs of anyone else, nothing. Okay, she whispered. Let's just see what's upstairs. The staircase groaned under her weight, each step a loud protest. She reached the landing and looked down the hallway. The door at the end, the one with the flickering light earlier, was slightly open. She moved toward it, her hand trembling as it reached for the knob. Inside, the room was empty. No furniture, no lights, nothing but a cracked mirror on the wall, and a small wooden toy sitting in the corner. A jester, grinning, one painted eye missing. Then the door slammed shut behind her, and from the mirror her reflection didn't move. Julie turned away from it, her skin crawling, and reached for the door, but it wouldn't budge. Behind her, the reflection smiled and laughed. Julie's heart thundered as she pounded on the door. It didn't move. No creak, no rattle. It was like it had never been a door at all, just part of the wall now. She turned back to the mirror. Her reflection still stood there, smiling, not moving when she did. It stepped forward. Julie backed away until her shoulders hit the real wall. The air was cold, so cold her breath came out in clouds. The jester toy began to rattle where it sat, its wooden head slowly turning toward her. Then the lights in the room flickered, just once, and the reflection vanished. Julie looked around, searching every shadow, every corner. But the mirror now showed only the empty room behind her. She inched toward it. Maybe if she touched it, maybe if she... A hand burst from the glass. Cold fingers gripped her wrist and yanked. She screamed, fought back, kicked, but the pull was too strong. Her flashlight fell and rolled, beam spinning as her body was dragged halfway into the mirror. Then suddenly it stopped. The fingers let go. Julie dropped to the floor, gasping. She looked up. The mirror was whole again, but her reflection was gone. She crawled to her feet, shaking. The door creaked open behind her, now easy, now silent. The house was no longer dark. Every room was lit with a warm, golden glow, and somewhere downstairs, a radio played a soft jazz tune from another century. Julie ran. She didn't stop until she was outside in the street, where her parents' car was just pulling up. They waved, smiling. Julie tried to speak, to scream, to warn them, but no sound came out. In the upstairs window, the curtain shifted, and her reflection stood there watching them arrive. Still smiling, still laughing. No one was home, but someone always was.